Hi guys, there's a video I just like to make, and yeah, look, it's probably being made well after the headlines, are coming out, but I wanted to talk about two incidents which I feel are connected, and that is Caroline Flack and Liam Payne. I just feel like there's an important lesson to learn from both of them, really needs talking about. And while it's in my head, I just wanted to make a video on it. Just, kind of what we can learn from it and what we should have learned the first time. So, like, how far apart are they? Well, Caroline Flack died by her own hand, in 2020. February 15th, 2020, so just before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Um, Now, I understand this is a sensitive topic, so I'm really going to do my best not to get too insensitive or appear insensitive. But I want to just look at it, and you look at that. So she died in February 2020, right? And then 4 years later, or 4.5 years later, more like, Liam Payne dies in 2024, October 2024, right? So people are saying, oh, they're not connected, don't be a drama queen. I'm seeing people who are making videos on it and are being just told, oh, you know what, get over yourself. And I'm like, no, I'm making a video on this now because I think it needs to be talked about. What have we learned in that time? Like 4.5 years, and we had plenty of time during the lockdown to kind of look at stuff and go, what's right and wrong in society. We got to see what people are really like. We got to see a lot of negative aspects of our government and each other, really. Um, but to give you a bit of a backstory, like, so Caroline Flack was obviously a TV presenter. She was on various different shows. She presented X Factor, etc. I didn't know an awful lot about her, I'll admit that. I knew she presented a lot of shows on ITV and what have you, but having done a bit of research into her, like, she had a history of mental health issues like self-harming, etc. And I've looked that up on multiple sites just to confirm. Although you never know, misinformation is so key, but people have said, yeah, she self-harmed. She was accused of assaulting her boyfriend. Apparently she hit him over the head with a lamp while he was sleeping, and admitted to this, by the way, because she thought he was cheating on her. So there was obviously mental illness there. And then obviously she died by her own hand in February 15th, 2020. She received an awful lot of online abuse. Like, what you can say about her character, fair enough, whatever, but the abuse she got was relentless. Nobody's perfect, right? And I'm sure there's plenty of shit going on in the background that caused this bad behaviour. And look, it's not okay to assault your partner ever. And I'm definitely seeing more cases of men getting assaulted and they're too afraid to speak out. But regardless of all that, the media, like, and people who were giving her abuse online, just relentlessly giving her abuse, was horrendous, scummy, shitty stuff to be doing to a human being, but they didn't stop. They just kept going. They kept going. And then, oh my god, it's tragic that she's dead, isn't it? It's fucking horrendous. It really is. 4 years later, Liam Payne dies, and what did we learn? I want to actually just look something up now at the minute, so just bear with me for a second. Just going to look something up. Because Sinead O'Connor was someone as well, obviously someone Irish, closer to home. Now, they said she died of a broken heart. I know she had a lot of mental illness, a lot. God love her. And so did her son, who, yeah, it's not a nice topic to talk about. I don't really want to discuss her son. God love the poor young fella. He was going through hell. He escaped from a psych ward, and yeah, it's a very touchy topic, But I want to look at, I think it's not the point necessarily that I'm making, so I wouldn't want to discuss that too much, but let's go into this now, just check. Sinead O'Connor only died recently now, so I know I'm going for the Sinead O'Connor look, apart from the facial hair. I just want to see exactly when she passed away. Just to double check, I've already double checked because I was comparing the two incidents of Caroline Flack and Payne, so that was kind of what I wanted to do, but I think this would be a good one to bring up as well. Yeah. Okay. She died in July 26th, 2023, aged 56. They were very iffy about the cause of death, and I understand why, because there was an awful lot of speculation. There was a lot of misinformation as well. She's been a controversial figure. She was obviously mentally ill as well. Like, cause of death was chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and bronchial asthma. So she couldn't breathe. I know she was a smoker, so that wouldn't have helped. Apparently she was on Dr. Phil. Yeah, mad. Yeah, and she was in and out of St. Patrick's University Hospital, which is a mental health facility. It's a psych ward there, mental health hospital. One which I was nearly put in myself. So like that only adds fuel to the fire, essentially, So pulmonary disease and bronchial asthma. She couldn't breathe, basically, She was relentlessly abused in the media as well, right? One thing that I really didn't like, and I mean, sorry, 1 second there now. One thing I really fucking hated was the level of hypocrisy. So like Miley Cyrus apparently called her crazy and all sorts of names when Sinead O'Connor offered to, give her advice or reached out to her saying you're young, look after yourself, just offering her a shoulder to cry on basically, and trying to help her out and offer her some advice, and she called her a crazy bitch and all these names. And you could say, oh, she was young and foolish or whatever, Miley Cyrus. She was a bitch to her, like treated her like shit, and then is posting all these tributes. That's what really gets on my tits, my big fucking man tits. Really pisses me off is all these tributes, oh, weren't they great and wonderful, when you treated them like absolute shit when they were alive, And Payne was no angel either. I have read up on him. He had substance abuse issues, but there was a lot of misinformation, and I'm after researching the hell out of that as well. What was found was Klonopin, which is it's like Xanax, it's a benzodiazepine medication, so the kind of sedative medication. There wasn't all these other drugs that people were talking about. There was a lot of misinformation surrounding it, so people were saying, oh, there was cocaine, there was heroin, there was this, there was that, there were benzos and alcohol, a whiskey bottle anyway. Whether he meant to end his own life by his own hand, we don't know. Misinformation around that. That's the problem nowadays, You don't know what's true and what's not. But what is true is he was also getting horrendous abuse in the media. Horrendous fucking abuse. And it didn't stop. And then when he died, oh my god, isn't it terrible, isn't it tragic? That's 3 people now that I've mentioned. Caroline Flack, Sinead O'Connor, and Payne. All of them were struggling, and did we help them out? No. It's fucking horrendous. And then they have to die before they get any sympathy. It's something I want to talk about. It's disgraceful, and it shouldn't happen. People shouldn't have to die in order to get some fucking sympathy from us. Do we wait until people make the ultimate sacrifice? What have we learned? Nothing. It's just tragic. Started to come on and talk about it. I hope we learned from those 3 cases. Let's do better. People shouldn't have to end their own lives to get our sympathy. I want to make a video talking about that more, but the phone's about to die. So happy Sunday, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.